It's been a very long time since I've talked about Final Fantasy 16, and there's been a lot of news, information, and of course speculation on the game that has recently come out since. There was a PAX East event that I did not cover due to my addiction to Final Fantasy 14. There was a state of play that also happened, but I didn't talk about it because I was actually sick the entire time the event was going on, which was really unfortunate and very ill-timed. But I'm happy to say that I'm back with a whole bunch of news for Final Fantasy 16, and with watching both events, there is so much that we have to talk about, and I'm going to be breaking down all of it into multiple videos so that it's a lot easier for people to digest and get the information that they want to know right out the way. Kind of like these videos that I did on my channel a while ago. So today we are going to be talking about Valesthea, and once again we are going to be doing a much deeper dive and insights of the realm that Clive is currently in and that you, the player, are going to adventure and see around. But before we get right into it, if you guys could please just leave a like on the video, it really helps me out in the algorithm a lot and makes it so that I know that you guys love these type of videos that are being made, and I can get the information that you want as soon as possible. And if you want to see more Final Fantasy news or information or just any type of content on the channel here, then consider hitting the subscribe button, as I will be having a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth video coming out very soon, which I am super excited to talk about. And lastly, share the video with a friend and give them more insight on Final Fantasy 16 so that they get even more excited for the game to come out. Now, without further ado, let's just jump right into the world of Valesthea. If you haven't heard or seen my last deep dive video talking about the region, I highly recommend that you go watch that, as it will give you a general overlook on the 6 kingdoms that are in Valesthea. For the people who have watched it or know of the video, you would know that I didn't have a lot of video footage or pictures to show during the time because there honestly wasn't a lot of them. But with the recent news from the state of play and as well PAX, they showed us a lot of areas in engine and in game. So let's just go over them very quickly. First is the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. Then is the Holy Empire of Sembrique. And lastly, this is the Dhalmekian Republic. We did get to see a brief look of the Crystalline Dominion, the Iron Kingdom, and the Kingdom of Waylude, but that was mostly showing off the crystal and kind of the overview and the side of it. We didn't really get to see full-blown gameplay right then and there of these areas, which was kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, because there are huge kingdoms, each one of them is going to have a bunch of smaller towns where people live and reside, which we now have some names and backstories for them right now. In Rosaria, there is a town called Eastpool, which was once a proud village until... yeah, that one's a bit of a spoiler, so I'm not gonna read it out. Then there's Martha's Rest, which overlooks the countryside of Rosaria. As well, there is the Three Reeds, which is a monster inhabited area, and lastly there is the Hideaway, which we will talk about a lot later in the video. We also got to see a town in Sembrique, which was called Lost Wig, which villagers refuse to leave even though the land is going to die. And of course there is another area called the North Reach, which has a well-known market that almost everyone in the Empire goes to. Then in the Dhalmekian Republic, we have Dravozud, I don't really know how to pronounce this one, I'm sorry guys, which has a lot of forges there. And that's all the towns we know so far. While it's not a lot of information to talk about, it does tell us that towns and cities will be very different depending on where you go. And if you haven't seen some of the trailers, we are going to be seeing almost everything that this world has to offer, and it will definitely feel like a living, breathing world that you, the player, will be able to explore and interact with people and definitely learn a lot more about the lore and cities, places within the game. Now, with that all being said and done, we need to talk about big area in Valesthea, which is called the Hideaway. Now, for those of you who have watched either the PAX event or the State of Play, there's not going to be a whole lot of new information, but the Hideaway is going to be yours and Clive's main base of operation. You'll be able to read up on lore, craft weapons, even upgrade weapons as well. You'll be able to get some side quests here, train, and even play an arcade mode that will have a leaderboard with other people who are also playing Final Fantasy 16. The Hideaway is going to be the hub area, and it will allow you to pretty much come there a lot of the time. If you guys have ever played Final Fantasy 14, you would know that there are kind of these hub areas within, I guess, the maps. If you guys have ever been to Gridania, Ul'dah, or even Lamensa, you would know that these are areas where a lot of players love to be around, and it would definitely be kind of the same thing here within the Hideaway. Yeah, you won't be able to interact with other people who are playing the game, but you will be able to see, you know, how you do in the arcade mode and what your score is versus other people's score, which I actually think is a really cool, nice little detail to do. Also, from what I remember reading in a bunch of interviews, most of your side quests are going to come from here. It will not always be the Hideaway, but a huge majority of them will be in the Hideaway. They are not required to do, obviously, but by doing those quests, you are technically helping out the people of the land, and as well, you are doing things to help out Valesthea flourish and grow even better. So definitely try to check them out if you are going to be playing the game. Also, I forgot about the two most important things about the Hideaway is that you can actually find out and recap on specific lore events if you've been spending too much time doing side quests. There is a lot of data entries within this area, so you can definitely read back and see who you've met through the Hideaway, and as well, you can see the connections that they have between you and other people as well. So this is going to be a really nice way to recap on lore if you've ever forgot, or if you ever put down the game for too long and just forget about things that happened within Final Fantasy 16. But since there is a lot to explore within the world of Final Fantasy 16, please let me know what you want to see in the comment section down below. Are you excited for Final Fantasy 16? Maybe you want to know more about the story, or maybe you just want to see all the abilities covered in a full-blown video. Let me know. And remember to leave a like and subscribe for more Final Fantasy 16 news. My name is Adam, also known as V2. I will see you guys later. Have a good one.